Okay guys, going to give you day 2 wrap up from the Florida International Audio Expo, giving you the great view from my room. Again, a big shout out to the current hotel. It's not the venue hotel, but I had to book here because the venue hotel was full. This is amazing place, rooftop bar, love the food here. So Tampa, thumbs up. The Audio Expo itself has been well run, top-notch organization. They did even have a dedicated room for YouTubers like myself, so I appreciate them having that. I haven't used it. It's really not my style to do curated stuff in a room or anything like that, but thanks to them anyway for offering that. I'm sure other YouTubers have found that very helpful. Wanted to give you guys a quick update on day 2, what things stood out to me. I'll have Doug and Dave later tonight. We're all going to dinner. We're going to do some stuff maybe at the show later. I'll be dressed a little more funky, so stay tuned for probably YouTube shorts later tonight. But guys, one of the most fantastic days ever at a show, I think, for me today, in multiple fronts, not just sound quality, but fun. Had at one time a great posse of people. We were all getting together. Luis came from 3MA, Mark, who lives down in this area. Some subscribers were around with me. It's a lot of fun today. And one of the standout rooms where we were all together was the Eminent Technology room, which is definitely one of my top rooms of the show, especially in the small rooms. Bruce Thigpen, a guy that's been in the industry forever, actually knows Steve McCormick, who you've seen in my channel many times. That's an OpenBaffle speaker that has always intrigued me, but now they have a bass tower to come with it. They're creating a prototype that was extremely promising in that room today. But it also reminded me, one of the most noteworthy things I've ever seen at any show was an Eminent Technology Sub, Propeller Sub, over 20 plus years ago. And I asked him today if he's still selling that. And he is. And now that I know it, and back then I couldn't afford it. Now I can afford it. I think I'm going to get it at some point, maybe 2023, later 2023. I've got a lot of other things coming new in the system. But the Eminent Technology Propeller Sub is amazing. And at some point, it will be in my system. Trust me on that. But kudos to him. Very soft-spoken guy, but very knowledgeable, experience, great product, OpenBaffle with his Eminent Technology. Stuff is top notch, but also that innovative guitar speaker. You gotta watch that video as well. You'll not see anything like that. I passed it up thinking it was room treatment. Most people thought it was room treatment. So make sure you check that out. But another thing, on top of that alone, sound quality galore today was outstanding. Magico and MSB was outstanding. Audio Note, the best probably I've ever heard them at a show. You know, you look at that in the corner, just 2 drivers. Yes, the price tag is kind of ridiculous. But for the music they were playing, oh my God, that was phenomenal. We all walked out of that room saying, you know, at least with that type of music. Now, maybe if we played other music at different dB levels, it may showcase some other things in the system. But at that was as good as it gets in a small room that I've seen at a show. Like I said, the Magico with the MSB also sounded that same level, super high level. Truly felt like you were hearing high end with no apologies in a small room. So kudos to them. But probably my number one thing of anything at the show today, and probably for tomorrow as well, because I've almost seen all the rooms though, was seeing in the Joseph Audio Room, which is always one of my favorite rooms to begin with. He's always an under the radar kind of brand in terms of not big as Wilson and all the big names, but quality all the time. But here's a guy that's always been into analog tape, vinyl, hardcore, into all those things. What was he doing today in the room that you noticed if you watched that video? Videos on YouTube, NPR, the Tiny Desk concerts. I have never seen that. I've seen SVS like you've seen today. That was another standout doing home theater, and I've heard that done in the past, a little bit of video, but never somebody doing what I've been espousing for, if you've been a long-time subscriber. Video content. If your server cannot do video content, you're missing out on so much stuff of not utilizing your system. And let me tell you guys, not just that part of it stood out. Okay guys, sorry, my phone fell off the tripod. That's what happens when you're doing very limited editing and production value. No, I don't have a videographer around with me. So anyway, what I was saying in the Joseph audio room, I believe, is that it was more than just the fact that he did video content that I've always been espousing. What the sound quality from those small Joseph audio speakers was phenomenal, and we were just all remarking, sitting right there, is that if those people were playing that we're watching right on the screen, playing as if they were live in front of us, it would sound in our mind, it was so close to real. And the amount of bass and full range and neutral realism that was achievable with those Joseph audio bookshelf speakers, phenomenal. And then speaking of, again, budget speakers, bookshelf speakers, from the chorus to all across the board today, the sound quality, we were saying every room from the very start, from Triangle on, there's nothing that we were really disappointed in. Maybe one room made us scratch our heads, and I'm not going to call out any of that kind of stuff. You can kind of figure out on your own. But today was all about the great rooms across the board, as well as some of the walkthroughs I got to do on the bigger rooms. I got to get, well, Margulis is not a big room, but having them walk through that gear and some of the new stuff. The power conditioner especially intrigued me because it has DC protection. That's pretty neat little product, as well as his tube amps, the unique way that they design them. You want to pay attention to that in particularly. And they're not space heaters, so that's another negative of tubes that they've taken out of the equation, as well as the price point. So again, that Margulis walkthrough is definitely something you may want to pay attention to, especially for a reasonable budget profile. But performance competes with anybody. But on the big boy side, definitely Jeremy, MBL room, as always, excellent. But these are with the MBL 101s. Filled the room beautifully, full range with the United Home Audio deck. The next step down, I believe, you're going to hear Jeremy and Greg walk through their entire room in detail. Doug is in there, that's an owner of the MBL 101s. You want to check out that video if you want to see an actual install. But one thing in particular, I pay attention to the people in the room as well, because I like to share with you not just my impressions, but if I get anecdotally some information from other people in the room, just the way they react. And what I saw in the MBL room is not anybody getting up in the middle of songs, number one. And number two, heads bopping. And these are some kind of subliminal cues that you can't fake. You're into the music, you're into what you're hearing, you're liking it. A lot of that in the MBL room, especially today and last night, a lot of fun. Kudos to them. They're obviously going to be in the best of this show. And if you could ever check out MBL speakers, they may not be your favorite in terms of what you're used to or something, but give them some time, listen to some of your favorite recording and see if you can appreciate that presentation, because it has a lot of advantages that resonate with people, especially as they get used to it. HighEnd By Oz, he walks through his gear, picked up a lot of cool new lines and cables, and the Syn audio distributor, power distributor. So you're going to want to learn, and of course the Lanshay speakers. If you didn't see my coverage in Capital Audio Fest, the plasma tweeter and the Lanshay speakers, I've been familiar with them for well over a decade, hearing them, but they're back in the US. Oz is carrying them now, and that plasma tweeter is worth hearing. And other speakers that have plasma tweeters, most likely they got it from Lanshay, because they're the ones that own the technology and invented it. So that's another great walkthrough. Just again, a great day today. Looking forward to tomorrow, to deeper diving like I did before, and went back to some rooms today, Soundfield Audio, and a lot of other ones are deserving of second view. So I'm going to try to do that tomorrow. Make sure to mention in your comments if anything you want me to see or go back and do. I'm here to help you guys as much as possible. It's very busy, got a lot of demands on me getting to different rooms and seeing different things, but I'm more than happy to help you guys out if you want to have special requests. So hope you enjoy, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.